What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to Platform B. This is Cubs Clubhouse, your bi-weekly edition of the latest new Afrobeats flavour. We are, of course, also going to be going up onto Cubcam TV. That's the platform I represent. And today we have a very special guest kicking off our first show of the year. Someone who has previously featured on my channel, someone whose music I've loved supporting over the last few years. And he does have a brand new EP out right now, which is really exciting. I cannot wait to get into this conversation with him. Man like TRIGGA joins us this evening. How are you, sir?
Eva, see you. Big love, big love, big love. I'm very well actually. As usual, just feeling the vibes. Can't wait for 2024, and just thankful as usual for the support that you've been giving me for. It's been like 5 years now.
It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. So yeah, big love to you and everyone over there that's been supporting the movement.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I cannot wait to get into it. Obviously, I mentioned that you do have a new EP out now. Don't worry, we're going to dive into that very much in full and break down as much of it as we can. This is a Cubcam TV show. Of course, we're going to break down as much as we can. But yeah, I'm really excited. I suppose just to catch up with you. It has been about sort of 3 years since we last had a bit of a catch-up interview. So yeah, I just want to hear about your 2023, to be honest, because I know you were dropping tunes quite regularly, and I know it felt like it felt like a lot of momentum was gained for you across 2023. Talk me through the year. How did it go?
2023 was just a year for me to fully dive into it. You know, I think 2022 was a bit hard for me, but I had to do uni at the same time, so balancing everything was a bit hard. But yeah, 2023, I just chose to work a bit more and just tap into, Zambia as a whole, because I know I've got so much love from outside the country, but I wasn't really, getting the love down here. Most people still thought I was from Nigeria or something. So yeah, just focused on doing a lot more groundwork. And I think by the end of the year, I felt it was time. It was time to give people a body of work that we can use to start 2024 off with and then take it to the next level. So yeah, I think 2023 was a lot of groundwork, a lot of networking as well. Just trying to build networks outside Zambia and within the country. So now we're ready to go. We're ready to take 100%. It to the next level.
And I think that's something that's been quite apparent in the launch of this campaign. I know you mentioned there, people seem to think that you're not from Zambia. You're from kind of somewhere else. Why do you think that is?
A few things. One should be I didn't really start my career from here. I was in China at the time.
Yeah, I remember.
So I didn't get to shake hands with a lot of the Zambian gatekeepers or whatever. So yeah, it always felt like I was, not from here. And then obviously, because the sound I do is pure Afrobeats, I do pure Afrobeats in its entirety, which means I use the lingo, I use, the beats, I use everything. So yeah, I think it was still a bit foreign to them, but then I started finding ways to make it a bit more Zambian. A few of the terms I use now, a few of the elements in the videos, as you can see, from like Jump and Twist was shot in like the hood in Zambia, and then my new video Falling was shot in like Siavonga. So I'm just trying to putting a lot of elements of like localizing it. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, man. It's good to hear. And obviously, again, the success that's been kind of seen off that's been really evident. Obviously, we're seeing the following grow. We're seeing the interactive level grow. I know there are a lot of the other reactors are all kind of speaking to you now, and obviously getting your videos up on their channel. I suppose from a selfish point of view, this is a question I've actually always wanted to ask someone. I mean, when you're kind of seeing people do those reaction videos, what does that sort of mean to you as an artist? Is it something you look for? Is it something that you kind of sit down and watch? Like how do you kind of interpret those sorts of videos?
It means a lot to me, actually, because it comes from a point of understanding how people take the music in. When you drop a song and then someone just comments on YouTube, no, this is a fire song. Yes, it's a fire song, but what really makes it a fire song, for example, the way you break down music is, the beats, the this, the that gives us the feeling of, oh, okay, now I'm doing something right. And obviously from the points that I can improve on as well, because if someone just drops fire emojis on something, it's really hard to to tell. So seeing it from how you guys genuinely listen to the projects, and it's something we look forward to, or at least I could say for myself, I look forward to, and I'm always appreciative of.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I know. I've seen Banks actually put together a couple of
Shout out
videos
Banks.
for yourself. Yeah, I think he's so good. I think Banks specifically actually is really good at kind of understanding the sort of roots of things and understanding why certain things have been done in a certain way. So, I mean, that's awesome to hear. And I think obviously off the back of that, you mentioned already we've been going back and forward for a few years now. I've been able to listen to your sort of progression as an artist, and the sounds that you've been bringing. I want to talk about this new EP because, having listened through it start to finish, it definitely feels like there's a feeling of evolution in your sound. It feels like there's almost in a way a maturing in a lot of the sounds as well. Things feel really like nicely rounded off. It feels like there's a project that's a lot of extra kind of little things have been done to it to kind of amplify it in like 1% here, 1% there, 1% there. What was the initial plan with this as a project?
The initial plan was to mainly show my skill level as well, like diversity. That's why no song sounds the same, and the growth as well. Because like there's songs that I did 3 years ago there, and if you can remember very well, I talked about the Zlatan collab on your show the very first time, which was like 3 years ago. So yeah, firstly, I wanted people to feel the growth. Secondly, just to show the skill level, and to put together a body of work that's, because as it says, give us you, it just gives you the vibes and shows how far we can take this. You know, I also wanted to be to tap into other markets with it, you know, working with artists like MAINA, who's like big in Kenya right now, and Zlatan. And so yeah, the body of work, to be honest, was just to, you know, show the skill level, or introduce people to the levels I can, you know, take this. So more of an intro, but at the same time, yeah, I would say the best way to put it is it's an introduction to where we're taking this brand, this music, and everything else.
Amazing, yeah, and I think obviously everyone listening, I'm going to absolutely implore you to go and go and listen to the project in full. But I think the interesting thing, as you mentioned, there is so much variation. Every track feels like it could have been released as a standalone single. Every track feels like it could have its own story. But when you do listen to it in that more sort of long form kind of idea, it feels like it comes full circle. You kind of start there, go around, and then you end up back in that back where you're supposed to be. And it's a really interesting listen on that sort of.
That was very important for me, because I had so many songs in the computer. Trust me, it wasn't easy for me to come up with like 7 out of probably 100, you know. But the whole idea of it was from listening to artists like Wizkid, the Remas, the way they put these bodies of work together. It has to make sense, you know. From the first song, which is one hit, you know, to the Falling, the love song, the gang, just it had to make sense. It had to go full circle, like you said. So yeah, I'm glad it actually did what I was looking for.
No, 100%, man. I think as well, obviously, I love to dive into the stories behind collaborations. It's probably the one question I love to ask everyone, is how those collaborations come together. I know, obviously, the sort of there's a couple of huge international ones on there. I'd love to have a quick chat about the Zlatan collaboration, because obviously he's been exploding over the last sort of year and a half, and doing his thing in such an exciting way. I mean, how did that conversation come together?
That conversation came together from the producer J Pizzo. He had sent me a bunch of beats. That was during quarantine, and then I just kept recording. I just kept recording, and then I had one on one of the beats, which was International Badman, and I sent it to J Pizzo before. And funny enough, he was working with Zlatan at the very same time.
Oh wow!
You know, so hello, yeah. So when he got the song, he played it for Zlatan, because like the whole idea was, you know, as you can hear, Zlatan fitting on the song. It was his type of beat. So Zlatan heard it and he loved the chorus. He loved everything that was going on, and did the formalities. And he sent it over. Big love to Zlatan. We never really got to link again. So this is something I'm trying to do this year, because last year he was supposed to come through for my listening party, but a few things happened that didn't make it happen. So this year, hopefully we can get the visuals.
Yeah, amazing.
We're working on it.
That's such an exciting kind of follow-up to be able to do as well, isn't it? Once you've got the tune, it's like, cool, now we need the visuals. We need to get
we need the visuals. Because I know a lot of people still doubt it's him or something. You know, it's a very big, it's a very big move. So we have to solidify it and prove, like, yo, this is really us. Yeah.
No, awesome. And again, I mean, on that similar train of collaborative sort of approaches, obviously, one of the most popular sort of rappers, I feel, at the moment in Zambia, in JAE, obviously features on this project as well, alongside Lil MAINA as well. Talk me through that as a link up, because I know that pretty much summarizes that idea of linking with sort of more Zambian style talent as well.
Yes. Okay. So when it comes to those collaborations, the first thing that I had to do was find the balance, because I had so many songs that were big outside the country, and I needed to find the song that people down here can resonate with. So I worked with J Cash, because he's someone who showed love from the beginning, and he's obviously one of the biggest down here. And then Lil MAINA has also just been a friend from Kenya, and we've been chopping it up for a few months, and I think the song was tailored around his sound, to be honest. You know, there's this Kenyan bounce if you listen to it, and then I feel like our sounds kind of blend well, because that's how Zambian, as you have done a lot of Zambian music reviews, you've heard the bounce seems to, so it was a perfect blend. And yeah, I feel like that's the next song that I'm planning on pushing fully.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, again, going through then, I suppose, as the entirety of a project. I mean, I know when projects are being put together, sometimes tracks are made sort of like a year before, and then it makes sense to put them on it. Sometimes they're 2 years old, and it makes sense because of how the project sits together. I mean, what's the sort of timescale of putting this together? How long was this sort of full track listing in the work for?
I think the oldest song on the project should be the one with Zlatan. So I'd say it's been it'll be a 3-year. I'm just going through it just to see. Yeah, I'd say it's been 3 years, because Gang and Zlatan, and the song with Zlatan were like 3 years ago. But everything else is very recent. I would say One Hit is something I did last year. Sade was a very last minute addition. The latest addition was the Jump and Twist remix, because T-Lo just sent me a verse out of nowhere, and then it just makes sense.
I want to talk about that as well. Obviously, T-Lo's another artist that's absolutely killing it at the moment, and it's really exciting to see. Though nothing brings me more excitement in the world than seeing two artists I like jumping on a tune together. It brings me excitement. I know that's a feeling that's echoed around the majority of music fandom worldwide. So you mentioned he just sent you a verse out of the blue. I mean, the original Jump and Twist has such a kind of unique. There's such a charm about that original tune. Had you sent him the tune previously? Had you asked for a verse? Like, what was the situation?
He always liked the song. He always told me, I love this song. I love this song. Then I had the listening party coming up, and he was one of the guys I asked to come perform. So he just told me, yo, can we do something special just for the show? Yeah, it was just supposed to be for the show, for the stage. And then he sent it back to me, and it was too hard. I said, no, this has to. And because people are only starting to catch on to Jump and Twist now, which is, you know how music is. Music is timeless. So sometimes it takes years for something to catch on. So it only makes sense that we do this remix, because now it makes people want to go back to the original, and then and obviously you heard this verse. It's
crazy. I think
I was waiting for it for the longest time.
I think that in itself encapsulates a really interesting thing about your sound as well, because as I mentioned, it's a sound that has, from the time that I've been listening, there's been that sort of maturing kind of feel to it, but there are still those original roots that remain, and I think that's what's so exciting. When you listen through this project, there are tracks from a few years ago, there are brand new tracks, everything sounds fresh, and I think that's such an exciting thing to kind of see. I know there are a couple of music videos that have dropped. What's the sort of general plan for videos moving forward?
I genuinely want to put out a lot more videos, because last year I only managed to put out I think I was like Jump and Twist or something. Or that was the other year. Yeah, that's how much I need to, put out. So I'm hoping to drop a video for each and every song on the project. Because we already have Falling, One Hit is in the works. What You Want has to drop as soon as possible because everyone's going crazy about that one. So we'll go Falling, What You Want, Sade as well, already in the works. So I'm trying to shoot for each and every song. The only one that we might have to wait a bit should be the one with Zlatan, but otherwise everything else is solid and we're working on it.
Oh, awesome. That's cool to hear. I suppose then, just to sort of round up on the project itself, it's been really interesting hearing the kind of process behind it more than anything else. And with that, I can sort of tell the amount of time and work that's gone into it. So I have to ask the question. Yeah. It's the dreaded question that people hate to hear, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask it. What's your favourite tune on the project? What's the one that you naturally gravitate towards the most? Everyone says all of them, but what's one that you think, yeah, that's the one that I want to show people?
The thing is, they change. The more I listen to the project, it changes. But I'll say Sade, mostly because I was a freestyle. So if you listen to it, it's like a loop. I just put out the first half of the song and then doubled it. I think it's just it felt, I was impressed by how quick I was able to do it. So it just became like, okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'll say Sade, and obviously One Hit, because of the place I was in when I was writing that song. It's like very real. It's different from most of everything there is just turn up music, but One Hit is like real and it speaks to a lot of people. So yeah, awesome. Those two really stand out for me.
Cool. Well, obviously, we've got you for a couple more minutes, so I want to make sure we're kind of getting as much from you as we can whilst we've got you on the show. With that in mind, then, what's, I suppose, the general plan for 2024? I know you've just released this project, and that's probably the main focus. What's the sort of general layout looking like for 2024?
I really want to, put out more. Obviously, this is just like the beginning, so I think the general outlook is consistency and new markets as well. New markets outside the country. Hopefully, I get to travel as well. Just come and see you guys over there. Do a lot more school tours, more activations. I think it's just me being more present in this space.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, I've got to say, bro, it's been great to catch up. It's been awesome. Obviously, seeing that progression and just kind of seeing where all of that's been leading to. Again, if you haven't checked out the project, do make sure you are going and giving it a listen. With that in mind, we are going to close off with one of the tracks we have been speaking about. This one's called What You Want. Obviously, TRIGGA, J Cash, and Lil MAINA all featuring on this one. We are live on Platform B. Keep it locked and don't go anywhere. TRIGGA, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Give us youre.
Them sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, Cam TV. Stay locked.